UFC Fight Night London, Blaydes versus Aspinall takes place this weekend. And I decided I'm going to go through the full card breakdown and in detail predictions for UFC Fight Night London, Blaydes versus Aspinall. And I just can't wait for this card. Stacked card. I wish Darren Till was still on it, but it's still nevertheless a great card. Let's start straight away in the early prelim opener of Ludovic Klein versus Mason Jones. I think this is a great fight. This got added short notice on this card because Ludovic Klein was supposed to fight on a pay-per-view card against Ignacio Bahamondes, but Bahamondes actually pulled out. So Mason Jones was also trying to find a fight for UFC London, and this just came apart and just came to mind, and they booked this fight. Great matchup here, though. Good scrap. I am going to be leaning on the side here of Mason Jones. He is taking it on short notice. I know Klein was supposed to fight, I know it's not Klein supposed to fight. He was supposed to fight Ignacio, but he was training for Ignacio as well. But I'm going to lean Mason Jones here to get this one done. I know Jack Shore was Welsh, and I know Mason Jones is Welsh as well. And Jack Shore just let us down last week. Let a lot of people down. Not me. I picked Simone, but that could be a bit of a curse coming into this, but I do believe Mason Jones can win this one. I think he's got a great chin on him, great cardio. And I overall think he's a very good fighter. And I think he'll go out there and get a late rounds TKO over Ludovic Klein, who is good himself, Ludovic Klein. We thought when he was coming in, he was good. He did lose to Nate Landwehr and Mike Trezano. Nate Landwehr's good, and he kind of slowed down that fight. Mason Jones has great cardio condition, and he has great cardio, great conditioning, and he overall has great pacing as well in his fights. But Mike Trezano is kind of mediocre in that featherweight division. Landwehr same as well, but Landwehr I'd say is a bit better than Trezano. But he couldn't finish Devontae Smith, which is a big red flag to me. Devontae Smith, I wouldn't say chinniest, but the chinniest probably guy in the UFC. I think he's probably cut. I think he's actually cut from the UFC now after losing to Ludovic Klein with the losing streak he had. But Devontae Smith in general is really chinny. I know Ludovic Klein won that fight, and he does have good clinch control against the cage, but I just don't see him doing that to Mason Jones. I can see him doing it early on, but I think when the round goes on, I think he'll just get beat up by Mason Jones, who has a granite chin. He took shots off David Onama on short notice. Now, fair play, he probably would have lost to David Onama if it was a full cap. But he was beating out Alan Patrick. He should have won against Mike Davis as well. I think this guy's really good. I think Mason Jones will go out there and get the job done over Ludovic Klein. 3rd round KO. Moving on up the card. A body shots against the cage, I'd say as well. Nicholas Dalby versus Claudio Silva. I think you got to pick Nicholas Dalby to win this one. I just haven't seen anything impressive from Claudio Silva whatsoever. He's 14-3, 40 years old, let's be real at this point. And he just overall hasn't been impressive. Like, there's nothing really good about him. Now, he got dominated by both James Krause and Court McGee. I haven't seen anything impressive about him, man. He lost Court McGee, got absolutely destroyed in the grappling department by Court McGee, who just recently got KO'd out cold by Jeremiah Wells, who is good himself, but it's not really a good look anymore. I know Court McGee beat Ramiz Brahimaj after that, but I just don't see anything in him, man. I don't think this guy has any... I just don't think this guy has, I think this guy is kind of like a Tyron Woodley, Brazilian version. I think this guy just hasn't had it anymore. He's not good anymore, man. I know he had a win earlier in his career over Leon Edwards, but that was an early Leon Edwards, and he arguably lost that fight to Edwards on damage. So, haven't seen anything impressive. He lost to James Krause. Looked terrible against James Krause, who's just basically quit MMA himself to coach now. So that's not even a good look. I just can't. And James Krause in that fight had one leg, and he beat up Claudio Silva in the fight. I believe Krause took that on short notice as well. Not a good look at all. Dalby, I think, gets it. Now, Dalby isn't good anymore. He is good, but yeah, he's not as good. He's not good himself. I'm not saying Dalby's some prospect here. He did lose to Tim Means. Made it close against Tim Means though, and he did win against Daniel Rodriguez. I thought he lost that fight on damage, but He still made it reasonably close against both Means and Rodriguez. And, of course, he did get subbed there by Jesse Bronson, but it was like a no contest type thing. Jesse Bronson was on something. I think he's good. I think he's a good fighter. I think he will go out there and get this one done easily over Claudio Silva. Getting a first round rear naked choke, I'll say. He's good with that. I think he'll go out there and get the job done. Now, I just think he'll go out there and get a first round easy sub. Claudio Silva sucks. Moving on up the card. Let's move on. Mandy Bohm versus Victoria Leonardo. This is a tough one because it's women's MMA, but I am going to leave Mandy Bohm here to get this one done. I think Mandy Bohm's decent. I think she's a decent fighter. She is 32, which is annoying, but she's good. She's a decent fighter. She did lose to Ariane Lipski, which isn't that great, but you never know. Like, this is a risky one, but I think she's good enough to go out there and win. Victoria Leonardo, I just haven't seen anything good in her at all. Nothing at all. I just don't see her winning this one. I just haven't seen anything good from her. She lost to Melissa Gatto, lost to Manon Fiora. Both girls are really good. I understand that. But she basically quit against Gatto and was destroyed by Manon Fiora. Or Manon Fioro. But, I think that's how you say it. But I think Mandy Bohm gets this one done. She did lose to Lipski, but I think Lipski would also beat Leonardo if they fought. And I just think she's going to go out there and just get the win. I think she's good enough. She was supposed to fight Tyler Santos twice then, back in 2021. Stupid. She would have got destroyed, probably, seeing what Santos did with Shevchenko. Well, didn't do. She lost to Valentina Shevchenko, but she looked very well against Shevchenko. But we're not talking about that. I think Mandy Bohm gets this one done. She has a bit of hype. She hasn't fought the best of competition, but she's decent. I think she'll go out there and beat Victoria Leonardo and win. They're both the same height, but she's lengthy. You know, she has a 6-inch reach advantage here. I think she'll use that in a boring fight, and I think she'll get it done. 1 inch taller. I believe she'll win it and get the job done. Risky though, but yeah, I think she wins it. Moving on up the card, Jai Herbert versus Kyle Nelson. I'm gonna go Jai Herbert. Here. I think Jai Herbert wins it quite easily. Kyle Nelson's good, but he isn't really, if you know what I mean. Like, he's all right. Like, he did win again. He got KO'd by Billy Quarantillo. I know Quarantillo's good, but he lost to Matt Sales, bro. Matt Sales, not a good look, man. He got subbed there quite easily. Not a good look at all, man. Like, I just don't see him winning this one. Like, he did lose to Diego Ferreira, but Diego Ferreira is really good there. But he KO'd Kamal Worthy back in the regionals, but I just don't see him winning, man. I just don't think he's good. He does have punch power early on, but he's quite second-guessing. He's kind of like a second-guesser with it. And he does KO guys like Polo Reyes. I just don't see him good, man. I think Jai Herbert's a very good fighter. And I like Jai Herbert. I really do think he's a very good fighter. He's 34, but he turned that 2 months ago, so I'm not too worried. Because it's not like he's turning 35 next week or something like that, next month. But he's decent. I like him. I like Jai Herbert. I think he's a good fighter. He did lose to Ilia Topuria, but Ilia Topuria is very good. And he did very, very, very well against Ilia Topuria when Topuria landed that one punch. He didn't take much of a break, and that is worrying. 5 months off. That is worrying. But I don't see Kyle Nelson as much of a threat. I think this is a bit of a free win for Jai Herbert here. He did lose to Moicano, but Nelson's not going to shoot a takedown, just submit Jai Herbert. Moicano's good for a reason. He submitted Alexander Hernandez. He's a good fighter, Moicano. And he did very well with Trinaldo as well. And Trinaldo himself, at 43 years old or something like that, has been looking good. How old is Trinaldo? I'm going to see. Trinaldo is 43, yeah. Almost 44. And he did very well against Ronaldo. And Ronaldo KO'd him out of nowhere. Same with the Tapiria situation. I think he's good. He'll kick the crap out of Nelson and finish him with like a front kick to big shots against the cage. I think he'll get it done. Moving on up the card. Let's move on. Muhammad Mokaev versus Charles Johnson. I'm going to go with Muhammad Mokaev. I think gets this one done. I think he will win this one. Charles Johnson's a bit of a threat, though. Not going to lie. I really do believe so. Charles Johnson is a bit of a threat. He's very good back at LFA. He was the LFA world champion there. Beat good guys, to be fair. Like 6-0. Carlos Mota there. 8-3. Yuma Horichi. Joao Camilo 7-4. Not the best. Carly Pignolian 6-0. He's good. He beat both of these guys. He's a good fighter, man. I really do like Charles Johnson. I just don't see him beating Muhammad Mokaev, though, who I think is very good. Muhammad Mokaev, he's a hype train himself. He's good. I really like Muhammad Mokaev. Of course, he got that win over Cody Durden, but the way he handled Cody Durden was impressive. Like, I went in there in that fight, made a prediction with him and Cody Durden. I was like, you know what? I think Mokaev wins it, but it won't be easily. It won't be easy. And he made it look easy. In this one, I think it's not going to be I think Mokaev makes this look easy. I'm talking all over the place. I said it up to Durden Mokaev. It wouldn't be easy for Mokaev, and he made that look easy. But now for this, I'm saying it won't be easy. If he makes this look easy, round 1, he's very good. And I don't think he will. I think he'll get pieced up in round 1, I'm honest with you. I think people will be shocked by that, but I still think Charles Johnson will lose. Mokaev, people just think of him as a striker, wild technique guy, flying knees, big front kicks. He has grappling himself, too. He does have grappling. I think he's good. I think he's going to go out there and get the job done. I think Charles Johnson's a bit of people are overlooking him. But he fought Brave CF as well. Blaine O'Driscoll, he beat. Groin kick, accidental. But 7-1 Abdul Hassian. But Cody Durden, that was a good win over Durden, man. He got guillotined right away. And Durden, we just seen bounce back against JP Blaydes. So, Cody Durden's looking good himself. Just got first round KO over JP Blaydes. I think he'll beat Charles Johnson. 29-28 decision win. I think he'll beat up Johnson. You know what, I'll say 29-27. He maybe gets a clear, loses the first round clear 10-9, wins the second round clear 10-9, wins the third round clear 10-8. Or 29-27 Mokaev. Moving on up the card. Let's get moving. Makwan Amirkhani versus Jonathan Pierce. I'm going to go Makwan Amirkhani here. I think this is a good pick here and a good underdog here in Makwan Amirkhani. I like Jonathan Pierce. I think JSP's good. I think he is a good fighter. I don't know how much I really rate him though. If I'm honest with you, I don't know how much I really rate him. He is good. I understand he is a good fighter. He did beat Kai Kamaka III, but where's Kai Kamaka III? At Bellator? I think he's at Bellator now. What's he doing at Bellator? He just lost. You know? He's not really that great, you know? He hasn't lived up to what we thought he would be. But he did beat Omar Morales, but Omar Morales in that fight had like an anaconda choke on him. Anaconda choke. Makwan Amirkhani. And Christian Rodriguez is nothing too special, and he kind of handled him easily. He is a bit worrying in his performance, JSP. And he is a good fighter. He beat Jacob Rosales there on the Contender Series, right cross, third round against Jacob Rosales. But Joe Lozon beat him and just pounded him out. I think Makwan's going to be good enough to win this one. I like Makwan Amirkhani. I think he's a good fighter. I think he wins this one. He put away Mike Grundy easily at UFC London, the last UFC London. And he was looking good against Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy before losing. Of course, he got kneed out cold, but things happen. It's sport. And he was looking good against Kirk and Barboza. On short notice, he looked alright against Barboza. I don't know. Yeah, I think he took that on short notice. He beat Danny Henry easily. I think I'm going to see a first-round Anaconda choke here again for McQuarrie Mirkani. I picked him to beat Grundy. I'm picking him here against Jonathan Pierce. I think he'll go out there, get it done. Pierce doesn't have much stand-up as well, and he doesn't have a good... He has good cardio, so I would put a lot... I would put a bet live if this goes past the first round on Jonathan Pierce, but I think he's just gonna shoot, get Anaconda'd, and if you're getting put in that Anaconda, you're not getting out. I know he got out of Omar Morales', but Omar's not really a freaking Anaconda type choke guy. Like, not like he's an Anaconda everyone. He's not, every time he wins, not like he's an Anaconda everyone. Like a McQuarrie Mirkani would. So, I'm going to go on Mirkani. I think he's good enough. I think he'll win it. Moving on up the card. 2. Nathaniel Wood versus Charles Rosa. I think this probably is a lock of the card. I'm going to go Nathaniel Wood here. Charles Rosa is just not too impressive, if I'm honest with you. I just haven't found him impressive these past couple of fights. He got out-grappled by TJ Brown, outstruck by TJ Brown, outstruck by Damon Jackson, out-grappled by Damon Jackson. Now, he did have moments against Damon Jackson, but he still lost. And we've seen TJ Brown just lost, and Jackson's looking good himself, but I just don't see him winning this one, though. I just don't see him winning this one. I just don't see him winning against Nathaniel Wood, who's moving up to featherweight, ripped as hell. Like, it's not like he came in here at short notice up a weight class. He's been preparing for this. He got out-grappled by Derek Minner. The holds have been said. He arguably lost to Aguilar and James. Well, he won against James, but arguably lost to Aguilar and destroyed by Bryce Mitchell. I think Nathaniel Wood gets it. He's a good fighter. Good enough, I believe. I think he's going to go out there and have a great performance. He won against Casey Tenney, I thought. It was a close fight, but he could have won that one. And he dominated John Castaneda, who's looking very good lately. Got caught by John Dodson. What's Charles Wilson going to do? Have one-punch power all of a sudden? Will all of a sudden have one-punch power? Don't think so. Yeah. I think Charles Rosa will lose, get dominated for 3 rounds, leg kicked, beat up, get destroyed. Nathaniel Wood gets it done. KO first round. Moving on up the card. Mark Takagi versus Damir Hadzovic. I'm going to go with Mark Takagi here. Mark Takagi, I think this is a pretty self-explanatory pick. Damir Hadzovic is just hasn't been impressive at all. Not at all. Like, he beat Yancy Medeiros. Who cares? You beat Yancy Medeiros. Not a good win at all. Not impressed. Like, he got dominated by Renato Moicano and out-grappled by Christos Giagos there. I just haven't been impressed with him at all. I just don't see him winning this one, man. I just haven't been impressed. Like, I think Mark Takagi gets this one done. It's not like Mark Takagi is off the slide now. Like, he is coming off a good win over Vyacheslav Borshev and out-grappled him there. He used his grappling to get that one done. But he lost to Rafael Alves and Rafael Fizia. But against Rafael Alves, he did lose to Rafael Alves. He did lose that fight. Got dropped with a jab and got guillotined, which isn't a good look, but things happen. I think I'm gonna have to pick him to win this one, using his grappling if he needs to in the back pocket, but just overall getting a KO over Damir Hadzovic. He outstruck Lando Venata and Joe Duffy at range, beat both of them quite easily, so I think he'll win it. He got chewed up by Rafael Fiziev, who's good, but and he survived to a decision. Like, Brad Riddell couldn't even last till he got KO'd in the 3rd round by a wheel kick. Rafael Dos Anjos couldn't survive to a decision. I know that was a 5-rounder, so I'm kind of like ignoring that one, but I think he's gonna go out there. He arguably won the 3rd round against Rafael Fiziev after getting his legs chewed up. So yeah, I think he'll get a KO. Highlight reel KO in London, like he has in the past. I think he'll get the job done. Moving on up the card to the main card. Paul Craig versus Volkan Ozdemir. I'm going to have to lean Paul Craig here. I'm going to go Paul Craig. It is worrying with him because every time I do pick him to win, he always loses. And every time I don't pick him to win, he always wins. So I hope he does go out there and get it done, but I think he will get it. Volkan Ozdemir, yeah, I just think he's a bit dumb in what he does sometimes. Like, fair play, he's good, and he did all right against Ankalaev, but got put out. He got put out by Yuri Prohaska. I just don't see him winning, man. I just haven't seen him doing good in these fights. Like, he is good. He does land some good. He does do good sometimes. He does land some good shots in their fights. Against Ankalaev, he landed a flying knee early, but just overall got hustled by Ankalaev, and Prohaska put him out cold. And Ankalaev used some grappling on here. And Paul Craig used to train with bad trainers before. He now trains with Tom Aspinall. You know? Tom Aspinall, he trains with Team Cowbon. He does train there a bit now. I think he's going to get it done over what's his name? I think he'll get it done over Volkan Ozdemir, who lost to Prohaska, didn't even beat Rakic, so his only really win is Ilir Latifi. Wow, yay. Good job. You got grappled by Anthony Smith. Now, you could have beaten Dominic Reyes, but that was a striking match. But, man, he got put out by Cormier, out-grappled by Cormier. I know he's the wrestler, but Paul Craig's been looking good. Like, he beat Nikita Krylov, out-grappled Krylov, but getting beat up early, and I think that'll be the case here. He probably will get beat up early. I think he'll pull it off, man. I doubted him against Hill, doubted him against Krylov. Picked him to beat Hua and Antigulov, but those guys are absolute trash at this point. But I think he's good. He beat Krylov. He's gonna pull it off out of nowhere, man. You can't go on the ground with Krylov and Craig. It's kind of like Oliveira. You gotta KO him. I think he's gonna go out there and win. He beat Jamal Hill, who's looking really, really good lately. I think he'll go out there. I think he'll win. Krylov's good, man, and he came back and won. And you can see, from when he fought Shogun Hua the first fight and the second fight, massive difference in his offensive grappling. That was only a year apart as well. So yeah, it's not like Shogun got bad in that most of the time, and yeah, not like Shogun got bad in that most of the time. And he couldn't really out-grapple Shogun in the first fight. Second fight, he dominated him. Made him tap the strikes. Paul Craig, I think, gets a triangle here. Gets the job done. Moving on up the card. Meatball Molly McCann, or Molly McCann in general, versus Hannah Goldie. I'm going to go with Molly McCann. No-brainer here. I think Molly McCann gets this one done. Haven't found Hannah Goldie impressive whatsoever in these fights. I just haven't found her impressive at all. Yay, you beat Emily Whitmire. Good job. Wow, you're going to be a future champion. Wow, yay. You beat Emily Whitmire. Good job. You're an absolute beast. No, you're still trash. You're still unskilled. I think she's going to lose this one. She isn't really that great. Like, she lost to Miranda Granger, who beat Cans on the regionals, and she still lost to her. Not a good look. She got struck by Deanna Belbita. She beat Emily Whitmire to save her job. Good job for her, but no pun intended. But I just don't think. I just think Molly McCann's gonna go out there and win it. I think she's good. She beat Luana Carolina, knocked Luana Carolina out cold. She beat Yi Young Kim. Looked good against Young Kim there as well. She looked good against Young Kim. She did lose to Lara Fritzen. Lara Fritzen, who the hell is that? No clue who that is. Who the hell is Lara Fritzen? This girl is Laura Procopio. Lara Procopio, that's her name, but her name's Fritzen. No clue who that is at all, but she lost to Tyler Santos, not a bad loss. But she beat Deanna Belbita, she beat Ariane Lipski, she beat Priscilla Capoeira. I think she's good. I think she'll win it. She did lose to Jillian Robertson. That was earlier in her career, though. I think she'll beat Hannah Goldie 30. I'll go TKO on the feet. Makes Hannah Goldie quit. Moving on up the card, Nikita Krylov versus Alexander Gustafsson. You see the energy changes there. I'm going to go with... sucks to say, but I'm going to have to go with Nikita Krylov here, man. I think Alexander Gustafsson's done. I don't know why he chose to come back. I don't see him winning this one, man. I just don't see it going well. Like, fair play, he did lose. Fair play, he did beat, Fabricio Verdum. But Fabricio Verdum, at this point, it's not really that's a bad look, really. You know? I chose him to beat, I thought he was going to lose to Verdum. I thought he was going to lose to Verdum. And he did lose, but he got dominated by Verdum, man. Like, he got dominated by Smith. On the ground as well. Jones dominated him there. All last three opponents dominated him on the ground. I just don't see him winning, man. And it's not the same. You can't just point out, oh, he beat Glover, though. That was back then. Not counting that now. I'm saying I'm like, looking at what he can do now. He's going to lose to Krylov. They blatantly need him to win. They really do. But I know Krylov's good. He did lose to Craig, but he was smacking up Paul Craig. And he did well in the first round against Magomed Ankalaev, who put away Ion Cutelaba in the first round easily. Like, Magomed Ankalaev does good in the first round of his fights. Decent in the first round, and Krylov was just putting a pace on him. Really, Krylov did lose, but like, he did well. He did good against Walker. Did good against St. Preux. Did good against Teixeira while doing so. Like, he did alright against Teixeira. Arguably won that fight, but Teixeira had some positional controls. Won that fight. I like Krylov here. I think he gets it done with the grappling. First round rear naked choke. I think Gus is done. I just think he's done at this point, man. I think Krylov gets it done. He out-grappled Walker. He's good. I think he gets it. Moving, and also, they need Gustafsson to win, because, like, they're doing a UFC Sweden at the end of the year in November. So, they need Gustafsson to win really badly. Or Jack Hermansson if he wins. But if they both don't win, like, I guess Chimaev? But, I mean, Chimaev doesn't really represent Sweden, but I guess he's from there. I don't know. See what they do. I think Gus loses. Moving on up the card. Hopefully he wins, though. Paddy Pimblett versus Jordan Levitt. I'm going to go Paddy Pimblett here. I just don't see Levitt KOing him. I don't see him out-grappling Pimblett either, so I think he's kind of screwed on the feet. I think Paddy gets this, man. I really do. Paddy's good. He beat Rodrigo Vargas with relative ease as well, man. Like, people forget. He beat him with relative ease. Beat Rodrigo Vargas with ease. He did get taken down here and there, but it was kind of more so he started the exchange where he got taken down. And he didn't really get taken down. He just fell off balance, really, or just got put on his back. And Levitt's not a guy that if you're on the ground with him, it's not like he's gonna pound you out cold. It's like he's kind of gonna find where he wants. He's gonna see where he wants it to be, and put it where he wants it to be, and get this choke there. You know, it's not like he's just gonna do whatever on top. And he is probably gonna hold Pimblett there, but Pimblett's strong, man. He's a strong guy. Put away Luigi Vendramini there as well with hooks. And I think he'll do exactly that. I think this will be similar to the Luigi Vendramini fight, but a little bit more high pace. Levitt's good, but I just don't see him winning. I would say Luigi Vendramini is more of a threat to Pimblett than Jordan Levitt is. Because Luigi has that power that can lay you out. With Levitt, it's like, doesn't have power, really, and Vargas has power, and they both lost. So Levitt has more of a compared to those guys who have power. Both Vargas and Luigi Vendramini, they have the power to put out Pimblett, but don't have the ground game. Levitt doesn't have the ground game, but he doesn't really have the hand. And I think if you want to be Pimblett, you gotta have this hand up, and both of those guys got dominated. So I think Levitt's gonna get KO'd here. He beat Trey Ogden. And undamaged, he could lose that. I thought he won. Like, I thought it was very close, but I think he did win with the kicks at range. It was very close, but I thought he slightly got that one with the grappling here and there. But Matt Sales, what's so special about him? He got a cool sub inverted triangle choke. I just don't see him winning this one, though. I don't see it going well. Trey Ogden's not even that great either. He did lose to Claudio Puelles, who is a good fighter. He just beat Clay Guida. But, again, if anyone's going to get out-grappled here, I'd say Pimlet. He's a bit bigger. How tall is Jordan Levitt? 5'9". So he is taller than Rodrigo Vargas. I'm losing my voice here. But Pimlet's going to have a reach advantage, 2-inch reach advantage. I think Pimlet gets it, man. I think he'll get a KO first round. Moving on up the card. I'm losing my voice. Jack Hermansson versus Chris Curtis. Co-main event. I'm gonna go Chris Curtis here, man. I really do believe Chris Curtis can get this one done. He's a slight favorite. People are picking him on Topology 72-28. Don't disrespect Jack Hermansson like that. But I realistically do believe Chris Curtis can get this one done. I like Chris Curtis, man. I really do believe he can get this one done. I think he's good. I like Chris Curtis here. I really do believe so. He beat Rodolfo Vieira. He's staying really active, Chris Curtis. Respect Chris Curtis. But I do believe that Rodolfo Vieira and Jack Hermansson are similar in levels. I would say Jack Hermansson is a bit better in terms of the cardio here and there, but Rodolfo Vieira is good. He did have decent stuff. He did alright against Chris Curtis, but Curtis defended every takedown, and I don't see Hermansson doing anything on the feet. Phil Hawes was piecing up. Fair Play was piecing up before the KO, was piecing up Chris Curtis, but he eventually got KO'd, and I just think Chris Curtis is good. Trains with Strickland as well, who just lost by KO, I understand, but it's probably helping Chris Curtis for Jack Hermansson, because of course Strickland beat Hermansson quite convincingly. He beat Rodolfo Vieira, stuffed every takedown. Don't see Hermansson out grappling him here. Now, if Chris Curtis goes to the ground with him, he could get heel hooked, but he looked alright with the heel hooks against Brendan Allen, put away Brendan Allen, and put away Phil Hawes. I think he's good. I think he'll finish Jack Hermansson here as well. I think the first round will be patient. Both guys will do good. Maybe Jack Hermansson wins the second round, but wins the first round with the takedowns here and there. Maybe he does take down Chris Curtis, or Chris Curtis is caught him. Second round, Chris Curtis will start to do a bit better. Land some good shots, land some good body shots here. In the third round, I think he'll land a jab to a right body shot, put down Jack Hermansson, pound him out, put him away, get the job done against the cage. Pound away Chris Curtis and get the job. Pound away Jack Hermansson, get the third round TKO win. Moving on up the card to the main event, Curtis Blaydes versus Tom Aspinall. The main event, I'm going to be going with, and this is risky, man. It is risky. I'm going to go Tom Aspinall. KO in the first round. I like Curtis Blaydes, man. I really do like Curtis Blaydes. I think he's good. He's a legit threat to Tom Aspinall. Like, he did put away Chris Dawkins. He is a legit threat. If I'm honest with you, he is good. But it's just, I just don't see him winning this one, man. I just don't see Curtis Blaydes winning this one because sometimes he's a bit dumb. He did put away Chris Dawkins, but Chris Dawkins is absolutely garbage and absolute trash. Absolutely freaking garbage. He's so bad, Chris Dawkins. I don't know why. He's so untechnically dumb. And he's a dumb fighter. I wish I could say more, but I don't want to get off YouTube. But he beat Rosenstruik, out-grappled Rosenstruik, but didn't really look great against Rosenstruik, let's be real. Like, he didn't, dominate Rosenstruik, you know? Rosenstruik did alright. He got KO'd by Lewis, out cold, and we just seen Lewis just got put out by Tuivasa. I just don't see him winning this one, man. Like, he did alright against Volkov. Won the first 3 rounds against Volkov, but we just seen Tom Aspinall destroyed Volkov with ease. With relative ease. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't see him winning this one. I think Tom Aspinall is good, man. I think he's 29 years old. He's young. He's good. He's hungry. Blaydes kind of already had the chance to have his top rise. Like, he lost. It's kind of like, oh, he won a win streak. He's about to get a title elimination bout. If he wins this, he'll get a title shot. Oh, lost wing on him. All right, let's go on one more run. Beat Willis, beat Abdurakhimov, beat Junior Santos, beat Volkov. Title elimination bout against Lewis. Oh, got KO'd. So he's on this other one. Beat Broderschweit, beat Dawkins. Oh, lost Aspinall. And I think that's going to be the case here. I think he's going to lose. I really do believe so. I think he'll get KO'd badly. Put away. First round. I think Aspinall wins it. Aspinall could grapple him as well. I think Blaydes will be second guessing here because with Blaydes, he could KO Aspinall. It's a risky fight, man. I see people saying Aspinall, good win, easy win, I believe. Dude, Blaydes can actually put him out. But I think Aspinall is much faster on the feet. I think he'll chew up the body and legs of Curtis Blaydes early. Beat him to the punch. Then a 1-2-3 combo. Boom, boom, boom. Beat up Blaydes. Rock him against the cage. Beat him up. And a body shot. Big head shot. Put down Blaydes. Left body shot. Big right hook. Put the Blaydes down. Follow up. Big shots. Put Blaydes out cold. And get a good win in UFC London again. Tom Aspinall, I think, wins it. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. This is a full card breakdown for UFC Fight Night London. Blaydes Aspinall. This was a long video. I'm sorry. Yeah. Peace.